progress.
852nd meeting, Tuesday, September the 20th, 2022. Please note that if you wish to be heard at this meeting, please sign in to the speakers list provided by the City of Laurel website or contact staff. The chairman reserves the right to limit the amount of time each speaker has for each agenda item. The qualifications of the members of the commission, the staff of the commission, and any consultants are used or on file with the city and are hereby made a part of each and every application heard today. The guidelines and procedures adapted by the commission are also made a part of each and every application. Each application heard today is considered on its own merits and is not to be considered as establishing precedents for other applications. Just a few reminders that each time you speak, it's imperative for the record, when done speaking, please use the mute button on your computer or phone. This will help eliminate background noise. If we experience a technical problem, the meeting will be suspended until the issue is resolved. If unable to resolve the issue in a timely manner, the meeting shall be postponed. Once the issue is corrected, I will call for another roll and then we will resume the meeting. After the staff presents the applicant report, I will ask commissioners to request a motion. Madam Secretary, would you call the roll?
Mr. Cocoon?
Here.
Councilmember Cole? Ms. McSeany?
Here.
Ms. Lubinecki?
Here.
Ms. Frazier?
Here.
Mr. Davis?
Here.
Mr. Schweitzer?
Here.
You have a quorum, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Brooke. Okay, the first item is the approval of the meetings from the regular HDC meeting held on July 19th, 2022. Are there any corrections? Entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes from the July 19, 2022 meeting.
This is Ms. McSeany. I second that.
Okay, Brooke, we have motion by Ms. Lubinecki and a second by Ms. McSeany. Would you please call the roll?
Ms. Lubinecki?
Yes.
Ms. McSeany?
Yes.
Ms. Frazier?
Yes.
Mr. Davis? Mr. Schweitzer?
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Next agenda item is HDC 2023-0002 for 319 Laurel Avenue. Would the staff please present a report to the commission?
Yes, good evening, fellow commission members. My name is Joshua Mitchum, ECD staff, and I will be giving the staff report. The applicant is seeking Historic District Commission approval to change their existing roof with the matching colors of 30-year architectural shingles, replace existing gutters with matching color 6-inch gutters with gutter guards. Staff recommends that the Historic District Commission approve certificate number HDC 2023-0002. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Josh. Is the applicant available?
I'm looking right now. I don't believe so. I don't believe so. It will be a Mr. Benjamin Lewis.
Great, thank you. Are there any comments or questions about this application?
This is Ms. McSeany, and I forgot to ask this when I submitted questions to Brooke yesterday, but can you see the gutter guards? There's no photo.
Let me see here. Gotta pull back up this. Judging by the photo, I would have to see if, let's see here. So those are the shingles that Brooke's putting up here now. I'm trying to see if There's the gutter guards.
If gutter guards go on the top, then we probably will not be able to see
Yeah.
them. The applicant probably just put them on there to be, thorough.
Okay, thank you.
And I entertain a motion for this application.
This is Ms. Lubinecki. I make a motion that we approve HDC 2023-0002 for 319 Laurel Avenue.
This is Commissioner Davis. I will second that motion.
Okay, Brooke, we have a motion from Ms. Lubinecki and a second by Mr. Davis to approve HDC 2023-0002. Would you please call the roll?
Ms. Lubinecki,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
yes,
Ms. McSaney,
Yes,
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Great, thank you. Okay, next agenda item is HDC 2023-0001 for 110 7th Street. Would the staff please present a report to the commission?
Yes, good evening again, fellow commission members. This is Joshua Mitchum, ECD staff. The applicant is seeking HDC approval to install a porch covering over the stoop of the property. And to getting into more detail over the covering, the applicant is proposing a roof covering that will be comprised of shingle material in brown colored architectural style. The applicant states that the roof of the covering will match that of the existing roof of the property. It will also have posts that will be painted in white color, and the covering is proposed to be 6 feet in length and have a width of 10 feet and a height of 8 feet. Per Unified Land Development Code, Section 20-20.4, extensions and projections, steps and porches are permitted to encroach into the front yard setback no more than 4 feet. The R55 zone in which the property is zoned has a minimum front yard setback of 25 feet, and the current setback of the property is 30 feet. So the proposed covering will extend 6 feet into the front yard, giving the property a new projected setback, or front yard setback of 24 feet. And this new setback will be in compliance with the 4 feet allowance as stated in section 20-20.4. The property file of 110 7th Street additionally contains an issued building permit dated September 17th, 1985 for the construction of a roof covering similar to that of the proposed project. The property file also contains photographic evidence of the property with the covering completely constructed. It just for some reason does not exist currently today. But staff recommends that the HDC approve certificate number 2023, HDC 2023-0001. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. Is the applicant available?
The applicant
Yes,
would be, oh, yes. Mhm.
Yes, I'm the son of Uriel Cruz Garcia. My name is Oscar Cruz.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
Any questions or comments for the applicant about this project?
No, we just, my bad.
this is Miss McSaney. I'm concerned about the width of this porch. It seems like it's going to be almost as wide as the front part of the house. So I requested, a drawing with the proposed, porch cover, compared to the rest of the house. Does such a thing exist?
At this time, that has not been submitted to the city, so we do not have that.
Do we know what the width of the protrusion of the house is now? That looks like about 10 or 12 feet.
It's 12 foot.
Mm-hmm. So the porch covering is going to be a foot shorter on either side of that protrusion. That's correct?
That's correct.
And it's going to have a different roof line. It's going to have the same angle, but it's not going to extend from the peak. It's going to be lower.
It's gonna be lower, yes.
Yeah.
This is Miss McSaney again. So why is it so much larger than the current stoop that's there now?
Well, me and my dad decided to do it like that if it's approved, because when it rains, we got all the rain coming on the front door, so we trying to cover so we don't got damage inside the house.
Right.
Okay, so I'm concerned about the width. I mean,
So
I measured my mother's back porch and it's not 10 feet wide. And it's a much larger house. So I feel like that is not going to look appropriate on your house with the porch being almost as wide as that part of the house. Would you consider making it the same size as the current stoop? Width?
Yes, no problem.
so you weren't going to extend the porch. You were just going to extend the covering over the existing patio porch, correct?
Correct.
Right. So Margie, he was covering it out a little further so that no rain would come onto that stoop where they go into the house, and give them a little bit of cover from the weather.
You know,
It's only going to be about a foot longer on either end of the porch that's there, the existing porch.
well, it's only going to be a foot in on either side of the whole front part of the house. That's
Correct.
why I'm having a very difficult time envisioning that. And so that's why I requested a drawing.
Also, to maintain that width, it would have to be much higher to get the correct angle.
I don't know that they should be able to build it on the same angle as the existing roof line.
Yes, they should, but it would be higher on the face of the house.
Correct, it would be. Yeah, it's probably going to be 2 foot above the existing door at the peak, at the highest peak. But then at the lowest, it's probably going to be even with the top of the existing door.
It's gonna be like 2-3 foot above the door.
Right, at the peak.
Yes.
Correct. But then where the edge of the roof, the lowest part is probably going to be about even with the top of the door, you think?
It's gonna be kind of, yes, it's gonna be like a foot a little up of the door. Because like I said, we're trying to do this so we can cover the rain when it rains to come inside the house. That's why we decided to do it like lower. Because if you see the drawings in years behind, it was a small porch in there. And I guess when they sold the house to us, it was removed.
Huh.
Two questions. First, I think what Miss Frazier is trying to say is, in order to get the pitch that you want that matches the current pitch of the front extension, you have to be higher. You have to have your where you have 2 feet by 4 feet, that needs to be like higher, I believe, Miss Frazier, that's what you're trying to say, right?
That's gonna be 2 feet above the 8 foot that I'm gonna build, because I'm the one who's gonna build. I do construction, and I'm the one who's, if you approve, is gonna build it. So it's gonna be 8 foot from the floor, from the ground, and then I'm going 2 feet up. So it's gonna be a total of 10 feet from the ground.
Right, but to get the pitch.
Yeah, the pitch is gonna be 2 foot up.
This is Miss
Karen,
McSaney. I think the
Karen, you're
issue
muted.
is the angle of the roof lines of the roof and then the porch underneath are not going to match.
Right, so thank you. That's what I'm trying to say, is that you have to have it compatible. You'll need the pitch, the width to be at a certain height also, if you're going to reach a certain the right pitch, the height that you're building. Correct? I mean, I'm not a builder, so I'm struggling with this, but I believe that's kind of how it works. You know, it's narrow if you're out
Yes.
this way. It's if you wanted to meet the, what is the pitch of the roof? Do you know what the
It's gonna look the same as the house right now, but it's gonna be a little smaller, and then only being a small roof.
Right, he already said that he's gonna have the pitch of that porch roof the same angle, the same pitch as the existing roof on the house.
right? So that should determine actually the height.
All right, this is Miss McSaney. If he's got a really wide porch and it's only 2 feet tall, then it's not going to be the same angle as the existing house. So I would like to make a motion that we table this until we get a drawing of the proposed porch as it would look on the front of the house.
I have a motion to table this agenda item. Do I have a second, or is there any other?
Mr. Conclune, if I can ask a question so I can be clear and make sure the applicant is clear. You want from Miss Margie, a front view, elevation view of how the roof would be, because on his drawing, he's actually showing how the roof would be. I know we have a concern about it being lower and that it's not going to be parallel even to, so I want to be clear. We are tabling it because Miss Margie wants a front elevation view, making sure that this roof, which he's showing right here, that this roof will be parallel to the existing front porch roof. Am I correct, Miss Margie?
Yes. And to show, you know, the width compared to the, yes, because there's concern about the roof line and the width of the porch. And you can't
Excuse me.
tell from the photograph and the drawing of the proposed porch what it's going to look like together.
I think all we would have to see is the pitch and the posts drawn in on that photograph.
So we also clear, approval is contingent upon him showing the front elevation view, correct?
I would think so.
If we table it, yes. Then yes. I'd like to second that motion.
Okay,
Unless we have a picture of the previous roof. I mean, there was a picture in the file of.
Yes, I was just about to bring that up if I may.
That might
Ms.
solve our
Lubinicki.
problem.
Yeah, that's something we can check in the historic file for the property to see, you know, how it was, you know, when it was originally like that. I imagine the applicant wouldn't really want to deviate from it too much. But the fact that there is photographic evidence of what it looked like, you know, just shows precedent that maybe they thought the same thing. So yeah, I can get that sent out.
if I'm thinking of the right house, I think it was enclosed actually.
Yes, this is Miss McSaney. Yes, and at Halloween it had all of the pumpkin luminaries.
Yeah, so this is actually going to be even better because it's going to be open. You're still going to see the front of the house. It's not going to be an enclosed box like it was.
I think we have a motion and a second on the table.
Okay.
I mean, a motion to table and a second.
Yeah. Okay, Brooke, would you please call the roll? We have a motion to table from Ms. McSaney and a second from Ms. Lubinicki.
Ms. McSaney,
Yes.
Ms. Lubinicki,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes,
Mr. Davis,
No.
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Mr. Cocaine.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, so applicant, you know what you need to do. You need to get an elevation drawing and submit it to the city, to Brooke, and she'll get you on the next next agenda for the next meeting that we have.
All right,
Okay. Have a good evening, sir.
thank you.
Okay, HDC 0223-0004 for 677 Main Street. Would the staff please present the report?
Yes, good evening again. This is Joshua Mitchum, ECD staff. The applicant is seeking Historic District Commission approval to paint the front door and door frame of the existing Red Hot and Blue restaurant located at 677 Main Street. The existing wooden door and frame is unpainted and brown in color. The applicant is proposing to paint the door blood moon red, and no other alterations to the door and frame other than painting it are proposed. Staff recommends that the HDC approve certificate number 2023-0004. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. Any comments or questions for the applicant? I'm sorry, is the applicant available?
Yes, sir.
Okay, any questions or comments, or entertain a motion for this application?
This is Miss McSaney. I move we approve HDC 2023-0004 for 677 Main Street.
This is Miss Frazier. I second that motion.
Okay, Brooke, we have a motion from Miss McSaney and a second from Miss Frazier to approve this agenda item. Would you please call the roll?
Ms. McSaney,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki,
Yes,
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Okay, next agenda item is HDC 0223-0005 for 403 Prince George Street. Would the staff please present the report to commission?
Yes, good evening again. This is Joshua Mitchum, ECD staff. The applicant is seeking HDC approval to change their chain link fence to a wooden fence. The proposed fence will be 6 feet tall and the fence will be painted white. The 6x8 wooden fence is a pressure treated fence with pine panel board on board material. Staff recommends that the HDC approve certificate number HDC 2023-0005. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. Any questions or comments for the applicant?
Is this for both sides of the backyard?
No, this is for the, I believe if you're looking at it from the street, it is the left-hand side.
Okay.
This is Miss McSaney. So there's nothing that's going to be in the front because I think part of the fence goes across the front of the house.
Let me see if I'm looking at it right here. Could you please maybe elaborate? What do you mean by going to the front portion of the house there?
So I believe currently that the chain link fence comes from the back of the property up to maybe the back of the house. And then, I mean, it runs along the property and then it, as you're facing the house, comes to the right and there's a gate and it meets the house. And then the same on the other side. At the end of the driveway, there is a piece of chain link fence that is parallel to the street. And then there's another piece of chain link fence that goes from that all the way to the back along the property line.
So let me see here.
The applicant's not available, are they?
I don't believe so. It would be a Mr. Luis Sibaja.
So,
Apologize for
so
the explanation.
this is the right hand. This is Miss McSaney. The last photo was of the right-hand side of the fence.
Yeah, it would not be on that side. It will be on the left-hand side, according to my
Okay.
notes here.
Because the application just says replace the chain link fence.
Yes, but it would be on the left-hand side. Yeah.
How do we know? With all due respect, this is Ms. Lubinecki. Since the application just says to replace the chain link fence, it doesn't say left or only on the left-hand side. So do we not think that he may be doing right to both sides?
So if he was doing both sides, let me see here. Sorry here.
He would still be
Believe
able
this
to
one
do
also
this.
had a
He'd still be
yeah.
able to do 6 feet.
Yes, I'm looking to see the plat here if he has submitted one for here.
This is Miss McSaney. I didn't think there was a
Mhm.
plat as part of the application. Which
If
you raised the
it
question.
wasn't, yeah, if it wasn't, it might have been part of when they submitted their submitted the building permit. But or the fence permit. Let me see if I can master that right now. Part of the reason why you have the applicant were you'd be able to explain it here. Let me see.
And we don't always have plats for every property too, so it could have been that we didn't have one on file.
In the meantime, while I look for that, if you want to just table this for now, and I'll see if I can get that before the end of the meeting. It's have to access his building permit.
This is Commissioner Davis.
Why don't we just, not instead of table it, we'll just move it as the last agenda item. We'll make it agenda item number 11.
Yes, that'd be fair.
Yeah, that'll give you
That's what
time
Josh
to
tried.
research that maybe. So I guess we'll move on to the next agenda item for HDC 2023-0011 for 415 Main Street. Josh, I believe you're the only planner tonight, so you.
Yeah, solo.
Yes, sir. Go ahead with your report.
Sure thing. So the applicant is seeking HDC approval to install 2 signs on the property located at 419 Main Street. The first portion would be the front porch sign. The applicant is proposing to install an 18-inch by 72-inch sign on the front porch of the property. It will be hanging down. It will be comprised of wood material in a tan color. And the text, the sign has the text, the LPC in dark gray coloring, along with the business telephone number. And the applicant is also proposing to install a 10-inch by 47.5-inch and a 20-inch by 47.5-inch sign face within an existing brick frame monument post. The sign faces themselves will be comprised of wood material similar to the front porch sign in tan color. The 10-inch by 47.5-inch sign face has the text Brunner's Office Complex in dark gray color, and the 20-inch by 47.5-inch sign face has the text the LPC Hope for Today and Hope for Tomorrow in dark gray color, along with the business telephone number and website. The sign face also has the logo of the business in dark gray color as well. And the staff recommends that the HDC approve certificate number HDC 2023-0011. And I believe the applicant is is available for questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. Any questions or comments for the applicant? Can I go ahead, Ms. McSaney?
This is Miss McSaney. I move we approve HDC 2023-011 for 415 Main Street.
This is Commissioner Davis. I second that motion.
Okay, Brooke, we have a motion from Ms. McSaney and a second from Mr. Davis to approve HDC 23-0011. Would you please call the roll?
Ms. McSeany,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
yes,
Ms. Lubinecki,
yes,
Mr. Switzer,
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Brooke. Okay, next agenda item. It's for HDC 2023 for 0009. I'm sorry, -0009 for 352 Main Street. Josh, would you like to present a report? Is staff available to present a report?
Oh, I'm so sorry, I was muted. Let me just start from the beginning. The applicant is seeking HDC approval to install 3 awnings on the building located at 352 Main Street. There is 1 awning proposed on the front side of the building. The applicant is proposing to install an Imperial Marquee style awning on the front of the building. The awning will be 228 inches wide and will be comprised of metal material in black color. There are 2 left side awnings proposed. The 2 awnings will be Houstonian style on the left hand side of the building, and both awnings are proposed to be 56 inches by 24 inches in size and will be comprised of black metal material in black color. Staff recommends that the HDC approve certificate number 2023-0009. And the applicant, Mr. Bello, is available for any questions if necessary. Thank you.
Commissioner
Thank
Davis?
you, Josh.
am I correct in assuming that it's open to the sky? The marquee style? It's not a solid,
Yes, it's open. Correct.
okay.
Okay, any other questions or comments?
well,
Go ahead, Ms. Messini.
I wanted to know, so which awning is going on which part of the building, and why are there 2 awnings on the side of the building where there's only 1 door?
So the Imperial awning is going to the front of the window that, okay, the front exterior window, and goes all the way to the front door. That's why it's 280.
Okay, so this is Miss McSeany again. So the solid roof, the solid awning is what's going on the front, or the one that's open?
The one that's open.
And it's going to go from like the edge of the window that's under the Senate.
Yes, correct. All the way to the
It's gonna
door.
go all the way to the first door, or
Yeah, the first door.
double doors?
No, the first door.
Okay, so there's nothing going over the second part.
No.
Okay, and so then on the end of the building, I don't think we have a photo, why are there 2 awnings?
So there's 2 doors on the left-hand side of 352. That's where the other style awning is going. It's going above those 2 doors.
Okay, I drove by the other day and I thought I only saw 1 door. Guess we don't have a photo of the side of the building where the other awnings are going to go.
The second is towards the rear of the building.
right, is there a photo available? I didn't see one on the application of the side of the building.
Let me see if I can pull it up on Google.
This is Ms. Lubin. I'm a little concerned about the metal awnings because on other buildings which currently have metal awnings on Main Street that predate, I think, this commission actually, they don't seem to hold up well aesthetically. So I have a concern, whereas we've been very forward about doing and very pleased to do canvas awnings. So I wondered whether the applicant had considered those for the side at least.
Doesn't go for the side. I was gonna say, I think the coffee house has a similar awning to the one he's proposing for the front on Main Street.
Correct. Standing seam roof.
No,
No,
the open one.
Oh, the
Yes.
open, I'm sorry.
Yeah. The standing seam would be on the
Side,
side street. Yeah.
which some of the historic buildings in Laurel have standing seam roofs on them.
Yeah, I only see one door too.
This is Miss McKinney. Mr. Bella, where's the other door?
So it's towards the back by the generator. I don't know if you can see.
Google Maps probably can't go far back into a private lot, but
You can't go up C Street, it probably doesn't go.
Probably not.
Yeah, there you go. Keep going back even further where the green generator is.
So it's not on the same wall. This is Miss McSaney. Is that correct?
That's correct. It's on the other wall.
Okay, that clears that up. Okay. Thank you.
At what height will the front canopy be mounted in relation, let's say, to the Senate sign?
So it's on it's going to be mounted on the black. I think it's, I don't know what it's called, but the black.
The horizontal.
Horizontal, yeah, it's right under the window. Yes.
I see.
Ms. Marlene, if I can interject, per the code, the awning has to maintain a clearance from the ground to the bottom at least 8 feet. So if he does install it, it has to be at least that clearance.
Okay. So it would also require it to be 8 feet from the ground for the side doors?
Well, the side probably you can get away with because it's an incline, but it should maintain that 8-foot clearance there too. And I believe they have enough height and clearance to meet that requirement.
Yeah, definitely on the front. That's probably about 12 foot.
This is Miss McSaney. So just, I guess, out of curiosity, why put that awning on the front when it doesn't really protect, you know, anyone from the weather, and also it being that high? Why replace the black, let's call it a cornice, that's there? Just out of curiosity.
It's one is for beauty to make it look nicer. In most historical areas now, we a lot of architects are mixing modern styles with historic designs. So it's more to have a better view and better look on the building and on Main Street as a whole.
This is Ms. Lubinecki. Do you anticipate putting signage on that structure? Because right now the Senate sign there obviously identifies what's there. Are you anticipating that? I mean, that looks like it's like a foot or two in height, the structure that you're putting. are you anticipating signage on the front of the building someplace?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
And where would that be approximately, do you know?
It's gonna be above the next to the window, right above, to the left of the big window on the second floor.
Building signage would be on the second floor, not on the first floor.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
This is Miss McSeany. Are you thinking a flat wall sign or some kind of projecting sign?
Flat wall sign.
Are you sure people are going to be able to see it? Just asking.
Oh, yes, yes, ma'am.
And that would be a separate application anyway.
Mhm.
Have to come back before us to submit that signage before we would approve that.
Okay.
More interested in whether it was going to be on the projected sign, the projection that he was planning to install.
Right, but even if he did want to do that, he would have to present it to us, and then we would have to, approve it or disapprove it.
Just for the record, he did submit today for a sign permit, or sign application for the HDC. But staff and I have decided to set up a meeting with him before we bring it forward.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Brooke. So any more questions or comments for the applicant, or can I entertain a motion?
Well, I'll make a motion that we approve HDC 2023-0009, wishing it was actually some other materials, but as presented.
I'll second that motion. This is Ms. Frazier.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion from Ms. Lubinecki and a second from Ms. Frazier to approve HDC 2023-0009. Brooke, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Lubinecki,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes,
Ms. McSeany,
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Mr. Chairman, Brooke, I will have to recuse myself from this decision, as I am familiar with the applicant.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Davis.
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. And the applicant understands you got to come back before us after you meet with staff about your signage before you put it.
Thank you, Michelle.
Great. Thank you, sir. Have a good evening. Okay, next agenda item is HDC 2023-0019 for 314 Montgomery Street. Josh, would you please present the report to the commission?
Yes, good evening again. This is Joshua Mitchum, ECD staff. The applicant is seeking HDC approval to replace the existing damaged roof of the house located at 314 Montgomery Street. The proposed roof replacement will change the existing gray colored 3-tab style to an architectural style roof in chateau green color. Staff recommends that the HDC approve certificate number 2023-0019. Thank you.
Thank you. Is the applicant available for comment or question?
Yes.
Great, thank you. Any comments or questions in the commission for the applicant?
This is Ms. Lubinecki. I don't have any comments, but I want to thank the applicant for bringing her roof project before it was done. All too often when somebody says they have roof damage, suddenly it's a crisis, and I appreciate this applicant coming to us ahead of time.
Oh, yeah, she knew better.
This is Miss McSeany. I second Ms. Lubinecki's comments, and I would like to move that we approve HDC 2023-0019 for 314 Montgomery Street.
I will second that motion. This is Ms. Frazier.
Okay, Brooke, I have a motion from Ms. McSeany and a second from Ms. Frazier for HDC 2023-0019. Would you please call the roll?
Ms. Mancini,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yeah.
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Brooke. Okay, next agenda item, HDC 2023-0021 for 109 6th Street. Josh, would you please present a report to the commission?
Yes, the applicant is seeking HDC approval to install a fence on the property. The new fencing will be located on the left side and rear of the property. The applicant is proposing to install approximately 145 feet of fence. The fence is proposed to be 6 feet in height and will be comprised of unpainted wood material in board and batten style. Staff recommends that the HDC approve certificate number 2023-0021. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. Is the applicant available for question or comment?
I do not see Miss Clancy on the call at the moment.
Okay. Do we have a plat of where the existing fence is going?
Let me check to see here. Yeah, it's kind of hard to make out, but you can faintly see the red on the rear side and the left side.
Great, thank you. Any questions or comments for the staff or motion on the agenda item?
This is Ms. Mancini. I move that we approve HTC 2023-0021 for 109 6th Street.
This is Mr. Davis. I second that motion.
Okay, Brooke, I have a motion from Ms. Mancini and a second from Mr. Davis that we approve HDC 2023-0021. Would you please call the roll?
Ms. Mancini,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki,
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Brooke. The next agenda item is HDC 2023/0026 for 511 Main Street. Josh, would you please present the report?
Yes, the applicant is seeking HDC approval to change their brown awning to a black awning with the words Streak Hair Designs written in the center. The new awning will be 25 feet wide with a 3 feet projection from the wall and a 4-foot drop. The word streak would be written in white with a red outline, and hair design would be written in white. The awning clearance from the bottom to grade needs to be 8 feet, and the applicant is proposing to meet those requirements. Staff recommends that the HDC approve certificate number 2023-0026, and the applicant, Ms. Fortune, should be available for questions.
Great.
Yes, I'm here. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you this evening?
I'm great. Thank you for asking.
Good. Is there any questions or comments for the applicant?
This is Ms. Mancini. I move that we approve HDC 2023-0026 for 511 Main Street.
This is Ms. Lubinecki. I second that.
Okay, Brooke, I have a motion from Ms. Mancini and a second from Ms. Lubinecki that we approve HDC 2023-0026. Would you please call the roll?
Ms. Mancini,
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Great. Thank you for coming before.
Thank you.
Have a good evening. Good luck with your project.
Thank you.
All right, before, Josh, you need a little bit of time to look for that plat for.
No, I got it here. Yeah, I figured it out. So it turns out in my error, I had confused. If you remember 109 6th Street, they were the applicant or application for a fence that proposed specifically for the left and the rear side. And looking up the applicant for 319, oh, I'm sorry, the wrong one. The applicant for Prince George Street. Their building permit or fence permit states that it is indeed proposed on the both right side and left side. Right side is proposed to be 59 feet long, and the left side is 71 feet long.
Okay,
Wait, would you say that again, please? I'm sorry, I'm trying to, the right is which? Right.
Oh, okay, so I'm just reading it directly from the building, but it's a little jumbled here. The height is 6 feet tall. Let me see here. The length on the right side is proposed to be 59 feet. The length of the left-hand side is proposed to be 71 feet. Let me see here. And the total perimeter of it is supposed to be 132.66 feet.
Well, they
For the
wouldn't
total.
have the fence in the back, would they?
Let me see here. He says rear, he says he's not adding anything, or they are not adding anything to the rear. Rear not adding fence. Yeah.
Okay, this is Miss McSaney. What about the front?
Let me see, left side.
And another question, so how
Mhm.
far forward do these fences come? You know, is it to the rear of the house? Is it past the?
I actually do have the plat itself here, but I'm not really sure if I can share it. Or if, let me see. Brooke, am I allowed to share screens or? I'm not sure if I have permission to.
You don't, I think I have to give it to you. Hang on 1 second, okay?
Okay.
Okay, try it now.
Okay. Let me try this. Okay. Is everyone seeing the plat?
No.
No? Okay. Let me see. All right, let me try it in a different window here. Let me see. Okay, share screen, window, content manager. Okay, how about now?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So this here, let me try to make it a little. Maybe zoom out a little bit. So for the applicant to have the gate on the left-hand side and still count as the rear yard, it would have to, or sorry, the side yard, it would have to come up right to where that point is for the stone and brick patio on the left-hand side there. So the applicant looks like they're proposing the fence to kind of wrap around the left-hand side and the right-hand side here without replacing the, they're not replacing the rear side.
So this is Miss McSaney, so it's where the little stars are.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, then I move we approve HDC 2023-0005 for 403 Prince George Street.
Do I have a second?
This is Ms. Lubinecki, I second.
Okay, Brooke, I have a motion from Ms. McSeany and a second from Ms. Lubinecki to approve HDC 2023-0005. Would you please call the roll?
Ms. McSeany,
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki,
Yes,
Ms. Frazier,
yes,
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. Switzer,
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Interruption. My dogs are sensing somebody outside. Okay. So that finishes all the agenda items. Now we have staff approval. Any questions or comments about the staff approval? Seeing that there's no questions or comments, the only thing that I have to add, unfortunately, the house, the building at 201 Main Street on the corner of Main Street and Route 1 was the victim of a car crash, which took out the front porch. The building is currently vacant, and I believe that they're trying to sell it. The only thing I would ask the city that whoever comes there, I know they'll probably have to get an application for the to rebuild the front porch, that they also make an application to the HDC.
Yes, Mr. Cocoon, if I may add, I've actually been speaking with the owner of 201 Main Street for a couple of days now. They're aware of the obligations that they need to do for both, occupancy, because they are planning on using both structures, the structure in the front and the structure in the back. So yeah, they are aware of what they need to do moving forward.
Great, thank you, Josh. Appreciate it.
Mr. Chairman, before we adjourn, I have one other topic I'd just like to raise briefly, if you don't mind.
Sir, yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Okay. I had a contact from a colleague the other day who was asking for some help to file an HDC application. He was a little confused. And so as part of that, I went, which I have not done, I will confess, to the Historic District Commission site on the website, which I don't know if other members of the commission have looked at it recently. And I have to tell you, I actually found it incredibly confusing as a person who's on the HDC to even figure out what I was supposed to do, and more importantly, what elements I have to apply for. In other words, what things are covered when I want to make an application. And I really believe that we need to do a rewrite of that website page. I did contact Mr. Love about that because there were some things that you couldn't even find. And the problem is, he would say he indicated that, and he's correct, that they are there, but they're very far down, like what it is that's covered. And I would, yes, but it wasn't even clear to me, do I have to apply online, or is that thing that I could do if I wanted to? It was kind of like, from a marketing standpoint, and this is where I'm kind of coming from, that it was very hard to know what I was supposed to do. And I was going to propose, I worked with James very much for the IT person, Brooke. I would like to, if with the permission of the commission, to make a stab at making a rewrite of this page, because I think it really needs to be more like for the customer, so you know, what is covered? What do I have to apply for? And then if I want to apply, do I have to apply online, or can I do it another way? Do I have to make an appointment? And some of the benefits are not there for a customer, that you will, that you can get a tax credit and things. It's there, but it's way far down. If we're trying to get people to comply and buy into what we're doing, maybe helping them just when they first read this might help a little bit. That's my comment.
Thank you. Yeah, I think probably the HDC wouldn't get too involved with this, but is there somebody with the city who Karen could contact and you know, give her suggestions and then?
Well, I do updates to the website and I kind of maintain it. I do agree there's a lot of information. All the information's there. It's just there's so much information. And it's probably just not easy for, you know, everybody to find exactly what they're looking for because there's so much there. I did within the last year add these quick links and table of contents so you could just click on it and it'll take you to it. And I tried to put that at the top so it would be a little bit easier. But I will say we are supposed to be getting a new website after the first of the year. So I really don't want to make too much changes to it now because it's going to have to be redone when we get a new website. The city of Laurel's getting a whole new website. So that would be a good time to figure out exactly how we want it set up. So I don't really want to make any changes to it now, kind of wouldn't make sense, but I think we could definitely work on that. Karen, if you and I want to maybe set up a meeting together and talk about it.
I'd be happy to, because we could draft contact, the wording, and then figure out where it's going to go. And I don't know how the city's going to be redoing its website. It's kind of like when you market, like tell them what's there, and then all the detail stuff can appear much more further down. But I think at the very top, maybe you and I could at least look at the top part, because I think if you're an applicant, it's real. Here's my question: do you have to apply online? Because it was hard, you know. Your questions, Brooke. Yes, why don't you and I meet?
Yeah, okay, no problem.
I think it was in red that you could contact the coordinator.
Right, but if we're trying to make it easy, we want to make that so they don't have to contact the coordinator.
Right. So I think you could do it either way, but
Well,
yeah.
there's several ways to apply, and it even says right here, you know, that you can apply online, you can email it, you can drop it off. The issue is that there's so much information on the website that if you don't scroll down and read everything, you're not going to see that. So we just have to determine what information do we want at the top. And we're going to be limited to what we can put at the top, because you can only put so much stuff at the top of the page, which I kind of tried to put the deadlines and things like that at the top of the page.
Mr. Cocoon, if I can, I'm sorry, Brooke, if I can interject, this Deputy Director Burrow. We want to push people to submit online. We don't want to inundate or overwhelm Brooke in getting emails or even getting personal contact given to her. We're trying to push everybody online. I know, you know, that's the new wave of what we're trying to do, because we're trying to limit, you know, everybody just personally contacting the administrator. So we are trying to push the online. I know it says on that to contact Ms. Brooke Quillen, but if we and everybody at HDC can kind of push people online, and even when Ms. Karen and Brooke meet, that can kind of be a you know, push to do that, and they can kind of rewrite, make it more friendly. But we are looking to push everybody online.
Okay. The only suggestion that I might make, and I've seen on other websites, is where it says apply online. That could be a box that you would, you know, basically press that, and it would take you right to the online application. And, you know, any information you would need to apply online would be on that page. And that might make it simpler, you know, if they're trying to apply online. And then if they need to contact Brooke or the city, then that information would be down in the next paragraph or something.
Yeah, I don't disagree with trying to push people to that. It all, first thing you have to do is set up an account with the city, and that's not where we're really. That's off-putting for somebody who's struggling to know does my roof work need an approval? I need approval to take my tree out.
I agree with you, Bob. If you could have 5 or 6 simple things at the top, how to apply. Oh, look, there's a tax credit, that sort of thing. And when you click on that, it takes you to the information for that topic.
That's what
Is
I'm
that
kind of
clear?
gaming at. So Brooke and I can
Yeah.
work on this a little bit. Maybe Brooke, we can figure out some stuff just for the top as an interim even, but we'll do this offline so we don't take the
Yeah.
commission's time tonight.
This is Miss McSaney. I appreciate Ms. Lubinecki and Ms. Quillen being willing to work on the website, because I spoke to someone who's not currently at this meeting several years ago about difficulties using the website. So I appreciate your willingness to work on that. And I would like to move that we adjourn.
Okay, boom.
Brooke, I'll be in touch.
See you in person next month, right?
Sounds good.